as you can see, stuck in traffic. So I decided I'd do a random discussion. So, just gonna talk about a variety of different subjects pertaining to just basically anything from sports to uh, light politics and just, everyday life. Now, before I continue, I did not see the debate. I'm listening to different people discuss it, various different opinions. But a lot of what I've been hearing was people were saying that the debate was too pro Kamala and that it was like Trump was debating like three people at once, that the moderator was clearly biased towards him, which I expected. So, at the end of the day, I'm just going to keep it 100. Debates don't deter me on my opinion of who can do the best job or whether it's going to sway my vote or whatever the case may be. There's just certain people that could just talk a lot better than certain people that can put their words together better than other people, and that's fine. Doesn't mean that they're the best person. Just comes down to speech, So, that's all it come down to. Still doesn't change the way I feel about Kamala Harris, because I know who Kamala Harris really is, and I'm not about to go back and forth with people about Kamala Harris and her history, because I know what she did. It's documented. It's factual. No matter how much people get online and try to cover it up or try to downplay what she did pretty much everything that people said that she did. And then she's not black. And that's just real talk. So I'm not going to go back and forth. So I'm not going to go back and forth with people about Cam. She's a fraud. She's a habitual liar. And if you take out the hoe, bitch, she used to be a hoe and she is a bitch. She is a hoe bitch. But nevertheless, see how clever that is? Bars. But anyway, no, I didn't see the debate, so I really can't speak on it. But I listened to random videos, people that were really objective, that didn't have a horse in the race, that called it right down the middle. Now you're gonna have some people saying that she crushed Donald Trump. Okay, fine. So So, didn't see it. But I may look at bits and pieces of it, but I'm just one of those type of guys. That kind of stuff just bores me. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's in office. When you have your chance to change things or try to change things and fix and put in place and rearrange what the last person did, you supposed to do that. And to me, all Kamala Harris does is talk about what he did when he was in office, but yet she's been in office along with Joe Biden for 3.5 years, and they still cannot explain why inflation is all at an all-time high. Okay, you want to say that he, vetoed some bills that could fix immigration? Well, you've had 3.5 years to fix it, and you didn't do nothing. But you still can't explain how all of them foreigners, migrants, illegal aliens, whatever you want to call them, are still getting into this country. You still can't explain how you were giving them thousands of dollars a month in food stamps and money and providing housing for undocumented illegal aliens, and you know that they're undocumented. They're not supposed to be here. And that's just the bottom line. But you still keep talking around that. Okay? So, at the end of the day, we know you want that oil. Okay? You've done nothing. All you do is talk about what he done. Well, what have you done? You keep talking about freedom to decide what whether you can, terminate a pregnancy or not. You keep talking about it's a woman's body and she has a right to choose. Okay, cool. Well, I should have had the right without being harassed on whether I wanted to put something in my body. Wasn't that my choice? But wasn't you forcing people? You keep talking about jobs. Well, you took away millions of jobs. When people was like, hey, I don't feel comfortable. Hey, I don't want to do it. Hey, I don't believe in that. You violated people's religious rights. You violated people's civil rights. But nobody wants to have those conversations. So how do you explain that? I don't think it takes 3.5 years to fix what somebody else did. There is a such thing as executive order. They have, listen, let's not play these games. Okay. But that's, one of the things I wanted to address. Now, this whole Tyreek Hill, I stand on what I said when I came my facts. I was gonna pander. At the end of the day, you cannot justify him getting roughed up like he did. I'm gonna say this once again. There is no law in place that say you can't mouth off to the police. You are a peace officer. I know the law. They violated his Fourth Amendment right. There was no reason to pull him out of his car. And he doesn't have to keep his windows rolled down. Most officers prefer you roll your windows up. Because a lot of times, they think if you have your windows rolled down, that you're going to try something. And I stand on what I said about Kwame Brown. I think Kwame Brown, I disagree with him. I disagree with Jay Whitlock. I disagree with Stephen A. Smith. The police, technically, to be honest with you, the police hold you even for a routine stop for a amount of time, and then they have to let you go, or you could actually accuse them of kidnapping you and holding you hostage. After a certain amount of time, if they have ran a warrant check and you don't have no warrant, everything is clean, they're supposed to let you go. They're not supposed to hold you an additional amount of time post doing, a warrant check. You can file a complaint against them. A lot of people don't know that. So when they sit up there and try to give you these lean on me, Joe Clark speeches about traffic violence and all this kind of stuff, listen to them. And like I said before, so what? He mouthed off to the police. There's videos all over YouTube and social media with people randomly walking up to the police, cussing them out, being aggressive towards them. So to hear people like Jason Whitlock and Stephen A. Smith and other people sitting up there trying to act if Tyreek Hill deserved to get roughhoused like that, are you nuts? All this stuff about energy and all that kind of stuff, You are supposed to keep your composure at all times. Now, if Tyreek Hill had got out the car and started throwing punches and he pulled a weapon out or something, hey, then all bets are off. But just because somebody mouth off to you, don't mean you have to like get all aggressive, because that just shows me that you have a weak demeanor. Shows me that you have a little person complex. In the mind, that's real. That's real. You the wrong type of person if you don't. You the wrong type of person to be walking around with a badge and a gun. Oh, I didn't like how you talked to me. He hurt my feelings. Like, you supposed to laugh that stuff off. And once again, there's no reason to pull you out of your car unless it's probable cause. And I doubt very seriously it was probable cause or exigent circumstances. Okay? It was a routine traffic stop. Once the dude said, give me my ticket so I can leave. Okay. Once again, he's admitted guilt. Give him his ticket, let him leave. So what he cussing you out? So what he telling you, hey, don't bang on this window? So what? It's his window. That cop to me already had an attitude. And he was looking for a reason. Now, whether Tyreek Hill provided the reason, okay, that's debatable. But still, that doesn't translate to him getting roughed up like that. Because he mouthed off. I get tired of hearing that. I say this to any of you people in law enforcement. Don't be no cop. If you don't get triggered by somebody mouthing off, the long end of the law, that you're judge, jury, and executioner and all this kind of stuff, at the end of the day, people still see you as a human being. And everybody's not going to be nice. That's why they give you in the academy on how to handle situations like that. That cop should have been calm at all times. Unless Tyreek Hill made an idle threat towards him, okay, then get aggressive. But there's no reason to pull him out of the car. No reason to make him get out the car. Oh, I'm going to teach you a lesson because you're being mean to me and I'm a police. I've been like, okay, cool. So for people like Stephen A. Smith and a bunch of these white supremacists, as usual, and a bunch of these Sambos to try to say that he deserved what happened to him, that's a damn lie. Nobody deserves to get treated like that. I'll be studying and I'll be looking up what my rights is as a citizen. If the police pull you over, they have a certain amount of time to conduct their investigation. Now, they had him in handcuffs only to let him go. That's where the police messed up at. The police can't just walk up to you and just put you in handcuffs. Like that brother that they was detaining, that they had in handcuffs, and the police officer hit the dude, punched him while he was in handcuffs. He should lose his job, and that's a lawsuit. That's a flat-out lawsuit. There's no reason for you to punch somebody while you have them in handcuffs. Why you think Oscar Grant's family won that lawsuit? Because the officer was in the wrong. Those officers were in the wrong. Why you think he been placed on administrative leave? Hopefully he should lose his job. If you are sensitive to the fact that everybody, when they see you, is not going, not gonna suck up to you and be polite, once again, you in the wrong line of work. You need to go do something else. Okay? You're in the wrong line of work. And I do believe that he was triggered by the fact that he saw a brother. He walked up to a brother. He saw that he owned the car. And like I said, that's why what Kwame Brown said didn't make no sense, saying, well, we don't know if he got racially profiled, because those kind of cars can routinely be rented. I'm going to say this again. It's not about the car. It's about who's in the car. And let's not play these games that they don't perceive people different. Yeah, you could be a white man driving a Ferrari. They may just think you rich. You may be some, investor or some entrepreneur. But if you are a black dude, whether you got on the suit or whether you got on t-shirt and some jeans and some Air Force One, they still suspicious of you. They're still asking that question. How did he get a car like that? Okay. How did he get a car like that? How can he afford to rent a car like that? It's always how. With a person that's white, it's like, okay. So we have to stop being ignorant. I'm not finna sit there, because I done seen so many YouTube videos where you had dudes walking up to police officers. They all over YouTube about guys that know the amendments, know their rights as citizens, walking up to police officers, say, hey man, you're not doing your job right, or some. I'm talking about being very aggressive towards them. Police walk up to one dude, and I could tell he was white, and they asked him what he doing. He said, I'm filming. No, you can't film. He said, I can film. I have the right to be here. I have a right to be here. He was aggressive how he was talking. He wasn't like, excuse me, officer, I just was doing. No, he said, I have a right to be here. They didn't whoop his ass. They didn't roughhouse him. They didn't touch him. They do all that to Tyreek Hill. Stop the cap, y'all. But at the end of the day, I know a lot of people like to cater to racists who think anytime black people voice their opinion and they basically don't talk a certain way, because they still think that everybody this day and age, black people, when they see people that don't look like them, if they have, palm colored skin, they are naturally supposed to act like they talking to, basically their master on the plantation. They always think that black people have to be all polite and talk delicate. But my thing is, how come you don't do those non-blacks or those white, or those white boys like that when they talk to you? You don't randomly grab them, you don't whoop on them, but then you want to whoop on Tyreek Hill. And then he was coming off, a while back, he had some work done on his knee. They could have messed up his knee and caused him not to be that behavior from law enforcement. So please just stop it. Don't insult my intelligence, and don't insult the people that's following my channel's intelligence, and don't insult the people that saw what happened. This happens way too often. I'm different from everybody else. That's what I do. That's what I do. When I first got on YouTube, I was going to be myself, and I'm not changing for nobody. I'm not going to sit up here and say what people want me to say, and I'm not going to always be delicate and light how I present something. Y'all gotta excuse me, I'm still watching this traffic. If you hear me pausing and stuff, I'm watching the traffic, and I'm definitely gonna be late to work, but that's fine. When you've been there as long as I have, you got it like that. As far as Stephen A. Smith go, Stephen A. Smith is a lost cause. There's no reason to even worry about him. He already sold himself. He had a price. He's already been bought. Once again, when you work for somebody, when you work for them, they own Stephen A. He's owned by them. So he has to do what they say. He has to cater to the masses. He has to cater to a certain type of audience. As you can see, Stephen A. Smith never had that type of aggression towards people that don't look like him. He always trying to have that aggression towards people that look like him. But then again, Stephen A. Smith is you know, he's kind of a tether. His family is from the Virgin Islands, so he kind of a tether. You know, he's not one of us. Stephen A. Smith been got off that mode. He been got off that, you know, he been got off that, you know, pro-black stuff. Now he pro money. He pro check. That's what Stephen A. Smith is. He's pro check, and he gonna do what them white people tell him to do. And y'all need to understand that Stephen A. Smith can't be saved, and he don't want to be saved. His allegiance is to the check. We all know that mainstream media have it in for black people, and we know their job. Roger Ailes made that very clear. The objective is, under every circumstance, not under no is under every circumstance, to demonize and paint a certain picture of black people, and particularly black men. And then, as a side note and as a bonus, play black men and black women up against each other by destroying the households, making it look as black women are the leaders of our community. Y'all have to watch out for that kind of stuff. Y'all have to watch out for the play. The play been in motion for, you know what I'm saying, for decades. All this stuff is by design. So you guys have to be aware of that. So, you know, that's all I have to say about, you know, that type of stuff. And I gotta say this much. This Tyrese Gibson thing and his ex-wife is like it really struck a nerve with me to see that he got arrested. I think one of the biggest scams, and that's exactly what it is, a scam and a con, and it's a finesse, is the whole child support system. Everything is designed to favor the mother and demonize the father if he doesn't do certain things. This day and age, I'll say within the last 30 years, I'll say out of every 10 babies that's born, I'll say maybe between 5 and 6 of those babies, the father that's listed as the father on the birth certificate may not be the father. Because you saw a changing of the guards where basically they started promoting promiscuous and sluthood from women, telling women to act like men and basically sleep with as many men as possible. You just started to see, you know, masculate women, feminize men, and particularly in our community. But this thing with Tyrese Gibson, child support has been one of the biggest scams ever. I really think it needs to reset. It needs to be redefined, because too many times it's not child support. It's called a child lifestyle. And what I mean is the mother living a lifestyle of child support. When do you come to the determination that doesn't matter how much money you have? There's no reason why a woman should be getting $100,000 in child support. What can you possibly spend entirely $100,000 strictly on the child? What type of food is he supposed to be eating? Child support is supposed to support the child, not the mother. I knew a lady that was getting. I knew a lady. She was a black lady in Sacramento, and she had a baby by a white boy. He was like a doctor or something, but she was getting like, and he made a lot of money. She was getting like almost $4,000 a month in child support. And she didn't work. And the funny thing was, she had a dude living with her. Now, after she had the baby by the white boy, she went and got her a nigga. I'm just saying, imagine. Why? Imagine. You done busted your ass. You done busted your ass. You done worked. You have gained a substantial amount of money. But because you marry somebody, and depending on where you live at, she didn't help you earn one fucking penny, but yet she's entitled to half of it? Why? So what, she had your children? And even if she don't have a child, why do you have to constantly pay somebody alimony for the rest of their life or until she gets married? And this woman that Tyrese Gibson is married to, she's a horrible person. She is a flat out liar. Yet she tries to have these shows giving relationship advice on how to treat a man and how to, trying to be like a relationship counselor. But yet behind the scenes, she's constantly harassing Tyrese Gibson for money, trying to get $40,000 a month. And I made a mistake. She don't make $90,000 a year. From what I found out, she makes like over $100,000 a year. She got a good job. She like, I forgot what they said she do. I think she like some kind of social worker or something. Then plus the income she makes off social media. So who knows what she makes? She might be alone making like $200,000 a year. But she want 40 grand in child support? Are you kidding me? And I don't give a fuck about you women talking about, well, men need to take care of their responsibility. We do. If that's our responsibility. One of the biggest things that hurt me with my son's mother, when she put me on child support. And I paid my child support. It hurt. Because whenever she asked me for something, I gave it to her. But for her to like put in, and I felt betrayed. I wasn't a deadbeat father. And we need to revisit that situation too. I don't think no woman deserves half of your fortune. I don't even think she deserves 10% of your fortune. And then here go the thing. This woman signed a prenup. So you have to ask this question: how is people getting away with bypassing prenups? Prenups are supposed to be ironclad. But then now I've been finding out that in certain places there's loopholes and that people can get around prenup. Like from what I was told living in California, a prenup is null and void after 10 years. So if you married to somebody longer than 10 years in California and you got a prenup, unless you renegotiate the prenup, then pretty much is voided out. Doesn't exist. Why you think Dr. Dre ended up paying that lady that he was married to like $90 million in a divorce settlement? But yeah, just listening to Tyrese Gibson's ex-wife, just listening to 30 seconds of that fraud, talking about don't run away from a good man. This is a lady that woke up and she admitted that she did it. This is a lady that just woke up in the morning and just decided she didn't want to be married no more. Took the baby and left while he was filming a movie. What type of shit is that? Woke up, took the baby. Coward move. And don't come on here, you Captain Saberholes and you feminist bitches coming on here talking about, well, maybe her. No, she admitted. She said out of her own mouth, never was abusive to her, never disrespected her. She just woke up and just decided that she didn't want to be married no more. That's what a lot of women do. Moni Long, the lady that seemed made for me, she just decided to end her marriage. It's women that file for divorce. It's women that'll wake up out of nowhere, just decide, I don't want to be married no more. Just like Tamia Mott woke up one morning, she didn't want to be married. Oh, I've graduated. Now look at her. Ex-husband blowing up. Blowing up. At the end of the day, even if you a father, there's no, I'm just saying, what do you get? I'm just keeping it 100. For the most part, what do the man get out of marriage? Except bills and debt. There's no appreciation for it. It's funny how every year we celebrate Mother's Day, you gotta, they tell you that you should buy your mother some flowers, some flowers, buy her some candy, buy her a gift or whatever the case may be. And on the flip side, even if your dad has been around, and a lot of times that's very debatable on why the fathers are not around. I'm talking about if you a father that then did right, paid the bills, all this kind of stuff, what do you get in return? When a woman say that she don't give no man props for taking care of his kids because that's what you supposed to do, okay, cool. Well, why should we celebrate you? Ain't that what you supposed to do? Ain't you supposed to do right by your kids? Ain't you supposed to take care of your kids? So why are we celebrating Mother's Day if we're not supposed to really honor the fathers? But the fathers, that's what they supposed to do. You get nothing in return for providing for your family except a bunch of heartache. And for the most part, a lot of debt. This lady, she's so cold, she wants Tyrese Gibson to pay for her lawyers. This lady hired like 3 different, so she trying to suck the man dry. But then she sit up online talking all this relationship shit. I don't even see how anybody could take her serious. I don't see how any dude could listen to her. when they know, when it's documented what type of person that she is. As a man, you expected to meet all these expectations. You supposed to do this. Okay, if you are doing what you supposed to do, you should get something in return. The women this day and age, they love to talk about what a traditional man is supposed to do, but they sure don't want to be a traditional woman. If I'm sitting up here making sure you live a great lifestyle, the least your lazy ass can do is maintain the house. Okay? Maintain the house. Take care of the children. If you're not working, or if you get home before I do, you can't make me a meal. But then women want to holler about they not a maid. It's almost looked upon as marriage. If you a man, you just really a contracted trick. That's basically what marriage comes down to. It's like you a trick. You a trick under contract. And the funny thing is, there's no guarantee that you gonna even get the trick with your wife, because she may be, while you sitting up providing this very elaborate lifestyle for her, well, she may be giving it to somebody else. Just saying. I ask this all the time. Why even bother getting married? Because technically, for the most part, the man gets nothing out of being married. The woman has everything to gain. Because you know why? One day she could wake up and decide she don't want to be with you no more. And if you are financially in a good place, she could take up to half of your stuff. So the only person that really benefits from marriage is the woman. Even when you're divorced, you still could be paying for her to live a certain type of lifestyle with somebody else. Taking the money that you're paying her in child support and alimony and spending it on some low-level nigga. I'm just keeping it a buck. See, we don't have those real conversations. Nobody wants to talk about this stuff. What did Tyrese Gibson get out of being married to that woman? A bunch of debt. The whole marriage thing has always been a double standard. It's a scam. It's a fraud. It's a hustle in favor of the woman. I'm sorry, a lot of people don't want to hear this truth, but that's all it comes down to. It's a hustle for the woman. The only person that benefits from marriage for the most part is women. It has to be extreme circumstances where the man benefits from being married. But for the most part, he doesn't, because the system is put in place to favor the woman. And then that's why I laugh when women say that the stars aligned are always against them. That's not true. That is absolutely fucking false. How many times have you heard when a man is supposed to had walked away from his family and his marriage, he is the worst thing on the face of the earth? He's the worst thing. He's trash. He's this. He's that. But if a woman walk away from a marriage, then, oh, she did what's best for her. I have to think about me and all this kind. But if a man say that, oh, you're scum. You walked away. You broke up your family. You have to understand when the masses are against you. The whole marriage system, the whole child support system is designed to favor the woman no matter what. And just looking at what happened to Tyrese Gibson, the woman is not only suing him, and she had everything to do with him getting put in jail, while she's sitting up here talking all this relationship stuff. And then she's just the biggest fraud and the biggest hypocrite that's out there. And that's why you should pay people like her no mind, no attention. I don't even see how anybody at this point would still be following her, listening to her lousy channel. Why? Why? She can't be anybody's relationship coach. How could you be a relationship coach when you broke up your own relationship for no reason? There was no adultery. There was no abuse. There wasn't no deception. But you just woke up in the morning listening to, quote unquote, saying that you was listening to your mother. You just woke up in the morning and you just packed up, took the baby, left while he was filming the movie. But nobody talks about the hurt and the anguish that a man go through. Because at the end of the day, you supposed to stand strong, stand tall, never show no vulnerability whatsoever. And a lot of times women are never held accountable. They're never held accountable. So that's the funny part. That's the funny part about the whole situation. Looking at what happened to Tyrese Gibson. Ironic. He does a monumental great interview on Club Shay Shay. Basically puts out a movie that basically they thought wasn't even good enough to have a theatrical run, which I saw the movie. I saw the movie 1992. I thought it was a decent movie. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a solid movie. And then here she come. So all this shit that she was talking about, you know, how to keep your man and how not to ruin your relationship, it was cap. She's a clout chaser and she's an opportunist. She being a typical woman. She was just using that bullshit to get men to follow her, because that's who her core audience is. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if you a man listening to her and you still following her after what she did, something is seriously wrong with you. But then again, a lot of you niggas is in denial about a lot of things pertaining to a woman, to women, pertaining to a woman. You in denial. I mean, just listening to this woman talk based off what's going on with her and Tyrese, you just be like, wow, her? Now, I don't listen to her channel, but every once in a while, her channel would pop up, her shorts, and I would be thinking to myself, ain't this the lady Tyrese used to be married to? And then hearing her having the audacity to sit up there and talk about relationships and all this kind of stuff and how not, like, only to find out behind the scenes she trying to milk this dude dry. She tried to suck every nook and cranny out of this dude. You guys have to understand. I'm gonna say this again. I was married. Worst mistake I ever made. One of them. Got nothing out of it. I didn't get nothing out of it but a bunch of heartache. Now, luckily, I was able to get out of that marriage without having to pay any type of alimony because I was smart, and I basically, struck first. And then basically she basically was her own worst enemy. Because she was playing games, about the divorce. But, at the end of the day, I'm happy. I moved on. I rebuilt myself. But when you look at marriage, is it really worth it? It's been proven that it's been proven time and time again that the man don't get nothing out of it. It's been proven that the man don't get nothing out of it, except a bunch of anguish and heartache and financial debt. You just find yourself in a financial obligation. Like I said, why should you have to continue to pay alimony for the rest of your life or until she get married? Because at the end of the day, you still don't have the rights to have relations with her. Once again, the only people that benefit from marriage is women. They're not gonna abolish it because it's a scam, and the court systems make money off that stuff. They don't understand the ramification and what they do to you when they just decide, oh well, you make this amount of money, so we're gonna take this amount of money based off this. But they never take into consideration your expenses. Your expenses should always come first. You have to take care of you first. But they will put you in a situation where you can't take, because here's the thing, if you're not functional, you're definitely not going to be functional to a child. And they don't see it that way. So that's why I laugh, because this stuff is all by design. Boy, I've been stuck in traffic for... When I was sitting up going back and forth to court, when I was sitting up fighting with my son's mother, and I'm trying to explain to them, hey, why are you guys taking this much out? Now, luckily, I kept protesting it. And you have every right to challenge it. The hell with people trying to shame you by saying, oh, you just don't want to take care of your children. I want to take care of my children, but at the same time, I have to be functional to take care of myself. I'm no good to my children if I can't take care of myself, if I can't maintain my lifestyle. They never see it that way. They act as if you don't pay bills, that you don't have rent to pay, that you don't have a car note to pay. They never take that into consideration. And that's why the system is fucked up as it is. I'm sorry. It just gotta be told. I need somebody to explain to me how a man benefits from being married. How? What do you get out of it? A lot of women, when you try to have adult dialect, when you ask them something as simple as, what do you bring to the table? And they can't even explain what do they bring to the table. And if you say just me, then, like I said, that's pretty much a whole bunch of nothing. Like, what type of table are you? Are you a cheap IKEA table? Are you a, you know what I'm saying? Are you an antique table? Are you a fold up table that you play dominoes on? So what kind of table are you? They can't answer that question, then that should tell you a lot, and that means you should run straight to the hills. And that's the thing. You expected to meet all these expectations. Unreachable expectations at that. The thing is, as men, we're not allowed to have conditions. We're not allowed to have expectations. Just say I do and do. Give, but don't receive. So, you know, there you have it. Look like I'm gonna be here for a while. All right, you guys. Appreciate you guys coming on here. About to wrap this up. I'm finna get off the freeway. I'm gonna have to take the road to work. But anyway, appreciate you guys. This is your boy Town. I'm out.